was asking about these ITRs, and there is a statement here that the way I understand it, the Honorable Senator was inquiring whether these ITRs precisely should be presented.
The Chair will allow the question to be answered without accepting that evidence as an evidence that is linked with paragraph 2.4. Ordered.
Thank you, Your
Proceed.
Honor. Can I restate the question, Your Honor?
Go ahead.
Madam Witness, when you conducted the review of the documents on that particular La Vista property transaction from the spouses Corona, meaning the respondent and his wife, in favor of their daughter Carla and husband Constantino Castillo III, did you also review the ITRs, if any, that were filed by Constantino Castillo III, the husband of Carla?
This seems to be another question now, Your Honor. Besides,
What was the question before that?
only the ITR of the husband, Chief Justice Corona and his
Yeah,
wife,
that is
Your
what
Honor.
I heard.
This is now another ITR, Your Honor. And if we examine the subpoena addressed to the Honorable Witness, Your Honor, it merely directs her to produce documents before this court and not testify on any of these matters, Your Honor. So this has a tendency, Your Honor, to be violative of the order issued by this Honorable Court that in no case will evidence tending to prove illegally acquired wealth under paragraph 2.4 will be allowed, Your Honor. And that had never been reconsidered, that had never been revoked, much less superseded by any order from this court, Your Honor.
I will just request for a reading of the question as propounded in the first instance. It refers to
Prior to the last question.
prior to the last
All right.
question. It's the same question that I asked you.
The stenographer is requested to go to the record and state the question previous to the question bearing on the ITR of Mr. Castillo. Order.
The question, Your Honor, was, Madam Witness, good afternoon. You identified the car or the certificate authorizing registration for the La Vista property, which was sold by spouses Corona and Mrs. Cristina Corona in 2010 to their daughter Carla, married to Constantino, for the sum of 18 million pesos. My question is this, ma'am. When you conducted the review of documents for the transaction, did you also review the ITRs, if any, that were filed by Constantino?
By
Constantino, Your Honor, he is not a co-conspirator in this impeachment proceedings, Your Honor.
anyway, let the witness answer.
Yes, sir. I reviewed the ITR of Dr. Constantino T. Castillo III.
Is he a registered taxpayer, ma'am?
Yes, sir. He's registered as a professional.
Did you bring the ITRs or income tax returns of Constantino Castillo III as required of you in the subpoena?
Yes.
Immaterial, Your Honor.
Let the witness answer.
Yes, sir. I brought the ITR for tax year 2005 to 2010 with me, sir.
Can you kindly produce them, ma'am? Witness handing to counsel, Your Honor. A document which is inside a folder.
Was that document marked already as an exhibit?
Yes, Your Honor.
Identify it according to the exhibit if it was recorded already.
The witness, Your Honor, has produced before the Honorable Court Exhibit Quintupole Q, which is the folder containing the ITRs of Constantino Castillo III. May I request that the originals of the ITRs from the year 2005 to 2010 as produced by the witness be shown to the defense with a request for stipulation that the photocopies marked, which included markings also of various receipts from Quintupole Q-1 up to Quintupole Q dash 11 up to Quintupole 13 dash U, Your Honor, which include the documents like certificate of creditable tax withheld at source, balance sheet, income statements, and the annual ITRs for the years 2005 up to 2010. May we request for stipulation that the photocopies marked before the Secretariat are faithful copies of the originals brought by the witness, Your Honor.
The defense may stipulate if they wish. If it wishes.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Beg your pardon.
If the purpose, Your Honor, is substitution, we do not merely stipulate. We admit that the documents being identified by the witness are faithful reproduction of the respective original.
That's the end of the matter.
Yes, Your Honor. Can we ask the witness? I will request permission, Your Honor, to state for the record the taxable income and the tax.
No, the contents of the documents are stated in the documents. You cannot, the witness cannot add anything unless you want to prove that there's ill-gotten wealth.
We will not be proving that, Your Honor. The only purpose.
Well, then, compañero, you know the best evidence rule, I'm sure.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, what is the purpose of asking the witness about the contents of the document?
It is just to
For
record that.
propaganda?
No, Your Honor.
Oh.
It is to record it in the journal, Your Honor.
Well, those are marked exhibit and they're official records of the proceeding.
We submit, Your Honor.
So ordered.
May we have the stipulation
No,
on all the exhibits as marked?
Yes, we already admitted, not merely stipulate. We admit to be able to be of assistance to you, Mr. Counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, please, in compliance with the directive of the Honorable Presiding Officer, the Bureau of Internal Revenue has prepared a reply or a position paper or a letter dated February 3, 2012, which I would like to elicit formally from the witness.
There's no need. There's no need. That was requested by the chair from the witness. The members of the Senate will read that memorandum, and there's no need for you to submit it as evidence.
May we seek guidance, Your Honor? We will no longer mark this, but we will just leave it to the BIR to submit.
There's no need.
Yes, Your Honor.
The fact is that there's no dispute that the respondent owned those club shares.
Yes, Your
Is there any dispute about that?
None, Your Honor. It's not even an issue here.
Precisely.
Your Honor, please, in line with the legal opinion of the Bureau of Internal Revenue, that there are internal revenue regulations which allow the requirement for a car for transfer of shares of stock outside the Philippine Stock Exchange. May I therefore be allowed to mark in evidence the car for said Palms Country Club shares, and the deed of absolute sale as an exhibit also, Your
You
Honor.
can mark them.
Thank you, Your Honor. We request for stipulation that the car for the transfer of the Palms Country Club shares of stock marked Exhibit Quintupol P is a faithful reproduction of the original, Your Honor.
Walang tip. Walang tip. Walang tip. Andiyan ang lahat. Sige, pakitingnan.
Tinanggap na po ng korte ang mga ITR ng mga Corona. Kasama po dito ang mga ITR ng anak ni Chief Justice Renato Corona at ang kanyang asawa.
Kasama dito yung ITR ni Dr. Constantino Castillo, asawa ng anak ni CJ
Finally, Your
Corona.
Honor, just a few housekeeping matters if the Honorable Presiding Officer will allow
Proceed.
for the sake of clarity of the
Proceed.
records. Thank you, Your Honor. May I respectfully request, Your Honor, that the inadvertent mistake committed in recording in the journal a particular manifestation found on January 25, 2012 journal, page 30, line 12 from the top, reading or relative to the remark, quote, "But these are evidences against her when she is not a respondent," end of quote. As recorded, the remark was ascribed to this representation. It should be to Mr. Cuevas, Your Honor.
Let the manifestation be recorded so that we can do something about that error in the journal.
May we be allowed to examine the journal, Your Honor, and in order to gain time,
The defense is authorized to examine the journal.
and in order to gain time, Your Honor, may we make our manifestation in connection with this or observation by the end of the testimony of this witness so that we can move on, Your Honor.
Granted.
Secondly, Your Honor, we would like to just respectfully clarify that the certification issued by the BIR Commissioner on the Alpha List income for the years 2007 to 2010 of Mrs. Cristina Corona from John Hay Development Corporation is Exhibit Quintupol H, Your Honor. The certification by the BIR Commissioner as to the per diems and bonuses received by Mrs. Cristina is also included in Exhibit Quintupol H. There's only one certification. Your
And
Honor.
what is the purpose of introducing those
I noticed, Your Honor, like
evidence?
it's just to clarify the correct marking, Your Honor, because the Alpha List income was indicated in the journal as Exhibit Quintupol H. The per diems and bonuses is also indicated in the journal as Exhibit Quintupol H. But this data, Alpha List income and per diems and bonuses, are found in only one certification, so as not to cause any confusion in the minds of the senators, judges, when they peruse the journal, Your Honor.
If Your Honor, please,
Thank you.
we